I mean, he left the chat. I don't think it.
Oh yeah. All
unless he
right.
changes his mind in the server and says, "I want back in it."
I think he's sick of the topic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good afternoon and welcome everyone to Smudcast number 724. Yes, Goku is actually a bad dad. Oh
No, he's not.
no. Well, this is from let me see this guy's name. Too Much Caffeine. Oh, this is like 2 years ago. Okay, this is a pretty old video. Back in June 2021. Has about 3.4 thousand views, and the ratio is like 80-20, I think. So I actually was reading some of the comments, and there's a really good comment if you guys want to check out his video. And it's posted by someone named Goddess of Destruction Diana, 1776, and she has a good rundown of why this is all a joke from the DB Abridged and what really happens in the story. So if you want to read that and check it out, that's great, because I'm not too well versed on Dragon Ball Z. It's been a while since I watched it, so can't say. But we got some experts. We got Gingaman, we got Cyrek, and I think Gingaman brought someone else on, and that is Mr.
Keyblade Overlord.
Keyblade Overlord. Thank you, sir, for popping it. We appreciate it.
Hello, I am a big Dragon Ball Z nerd.
All right. So in case we have
that's why you're here.
any problems, exactly, we got Gingaman to tell us otherwise. Then you could argue with Gingaman, and then Cyrek would be like, "No, you're both wrong." And then we'll have this little fight.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
We're all gonna go Super Saiyan and start punching the shit out of
Oh,
It'll take us about 3 days.
virtual Discord punching. Hopefully, you will not abuse the sound bar thingy that you could.
each other. Yeah, no,
Okay, good.
I'm not gonna do that.
Good people here. Don't abuse everyone's ears. All right.
It is pronounced set.
Sound set? I don't know. Anyway, it's a 11-minute video. Won't take too long unless you guys will take your aside for 10 minutes and spiel on about how cool Goku is, or Gohan, or Gotan, or whoever.
Whatever other derivative of vegetables in the family.
Oh, yeah, any kind of fruit or vegetable that Toriyama comes up with. Okay, anyway, let's get going.
I'm really making this, aren't I? You know, this is one of those topics I always get the idea to make a video about, but then I realize how petty it is and how much effort I would need to go through in order to make it. But here we are, because Twitter has made me an unhinged madman. I am constantly surrounded by room temperature IQ nitwits that have zero idea what they're actually talking about. But with my 10,000 IQ, I will show you the error of your heathenous ways. I'm going to systematically dismantle this stupid image and explain how it's only correct in the most technical of ways and fails to properly address the reasons that actually make Goku a bad dad.
Is
Before
this supposed to be ironic?
What the meme?
No.
Sarcastic? Is it?
His tone?
Thank you.
His tone, or what do you mean? Like the way he's presenting himself?
I mean, does he actually argue for this in earnest, or is he playing I think everyone is room temperature IQ and I'm the smart one, while it's actually all a joke?
Well, I was hoping
and all of this is true, by the way. So I don't know what he's gonna say.
Well, originally I wanted to say that he's doing this in a jokingly jovial way. He's trying to lighten the mood, saying, "Yeah, I disagree, but don't take it too seriously. This is just a fan interpretation." That's what I kind of wanted. So he's sort of got that vibe going, but he didn't actually say that. So
Yeah, I don't. To my ears, I'm not hearing that.
yeah, so I think he's actually serious. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. Okay.
The act to a bad dad. Before we do anything, though, we need to answer one simple question. What is a good dad?
Okay.
Well, I would argue that a good parent is someone that provides for your needs. Not just your physical needs, but your emotional needs as well. I also need to submit to you the idea that just because you love something doesn't necessarily make you a good caretaker for it. I can love a dog all I want, but if I never walk it, I'm not doing a good job. The same applies to parenting. If you're not taking care of your children's needs, you're still not a good parent, despite how much you may love them. I'm also going to analyze characterization within the context of what I'm given. I recognize...
Oh, he's gonna bring up that you don't see the everyday stuff, like brushing your teeth with Goku, and therefore he's a bad dad.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It could be a simple understanding of actus and mens rea, that he's like thinking a thing and then doing the thing is not the same. So maybe, yeah, that's fair, but you have to actually show it.
I mean, the argument we often see is based on, oh, we don't actually see Goku doing the father-son things on screen because they are not important to the story. They happen between the frames. And that's the argument that is brought is, oh, but we don't see it on screen. Yeah, because you're dumb.
But then here's something. There are moments on screen where you actually do see some of that stuff.
Right.
It doesn't happen often, but you still see it.
There's also the difference between the original Dragon Ball, which is more of a lighthearted kids show comedy. Yeah, it's much more slapstick
comedy adventure.
Yeah, and then you see Dragon Ball Z where it's, whoa, this is violent, this is serious stuff. So
big time action.
Yeah, so you have to sort of understand that transition or the change of tone. But it's not hard to read, it's not hard to watch, and I don't think it's inherently some quality that Goku possesses in Dragon Ball Z that he suddenly lost or gained as a result of the change. So no, I don't see it yet. So I want to see and hear what he's saying with evidence, as opposed to, well, here he died for half the show, so it's like, well, he wasn't there. You can't really blame him for that. So anyway, here is thank you, Mr. Buttman and Throbbin, for the one. If you start a video with a big sigh and say something along the lines of, I didn't want to make this video, your skin should be scraped off with a butter knife in the town square. This man definitely eats corn on the cob the long way, if you know what I mean. Well, this is the kind of the mea culpa at the start of every video. It's like, I didn't want to have to do this, but for the good of mankind, I'm going to voice my opinion.
Someone is wrong on the internet, and it's totally not me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're a minute in, and we're still waiting. So,
if you thought
the show was super realistic to the extent that everyone acted like a real person, everyone would be crippled with PTSD. But sometimes subtle nuances are all there really is. That's code for some of these characters have like 2 personality traits, so I really have to take what I've got. And
okay,
first of all, PTSD. What? You really want that in your shonen?
How did he describe? I think I missed something about that. How did he justify getting PTSD?
That if any of these people acted like real people, they would all have PTSD from all the shit that goes on every other year.
The amount of violence in the story, the amount of like planetary busting events. So it would be pretty catastrophic.
Actually, watch their loved one die. Yeah.
But
at the same time, I paused it because just like 1 or 2 personality traits. Tell me you didn't watch the show without saying you didn't watch the show.
Or even read the manga, because
Vegeta
has a whole character arc post Namek. Goku, we see his entire life. Bulma, we see her entire life from the time she's 16 all the way until she's in her 50s.
Mm-hmm. Gohan got the whole arc where he had to learn both to be more independent when he's training with Piccolo, after being kidnapped by Piccolo, after the whole Raditz thing, and his growth into the strongest warrior, which, even going into Super and GT, they say that Gohan has the potential to be the strongest in the universe, but he just so lackadaisy with his training that he gets weaker.
Which the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie directly addresses.
Yeah.
It's also not how PTSD works. It's because all these people, they have emotional support of each other.
Yeah.
They get through this stuff.
They got good friends, good family. They always take the time to hang with each other and help each other. Meanwhile, also getting into some pretty awesome looking fights.
Sometimes also, when people say Goku's a bad dad, there is also those rare moments where it's people that simply did not watch the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
I cannot believe people do that. That they just watch Z. That's like, why? The original Dragon Ball show is such a gem.
Which is why Funimation back in the day went out of their way to dub the entire show Dragon Ball and Z, so that you would have that complete package. But people today still ignore it somehow.
And there is also a big amount of context that a lot of people like to ignore. When it comes to Goku himself, Goku was raised in the wild by Gohan,
Old man Gohan, yeah.
Yeah, and spoiler alert: Goku ended up killing Gohan when he turned into a great ape when he was a child. So
By complete accident.
yeah, by complete accident. So therefore, Goku had been living on his own until he met Bulma, which was like a good few years. So
A couple at least, yeah. To the point where even when he's on the receiving end of the Great Ape in the Saiyan Saga, he straight up has that, not PTSD, obviously. It's like a flashback to when he did it to Gohan, to Old Man Gohan. He remembers that because he was told that after the fact, and he was able to put that together the moment he saw Vegeta turn into one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, a lot of moments in the original Dragon Ball, showed that Goku is weird compared to, the rest of society because he lived on his own in the wilderness for so long. To the point where he was literally patting people's genitals just to see if they were a boy or a girl because he had no sense of manners.
Exactly.
Also,
Hey, Fox guy. And not the least of which being that the fact that he hit his head when he was still a baby, which with the context of Dragon Ball Z amounts to getting rid of his Saiyan programming, essentially.
Because requires a big bonk on the head before you start development.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Also, thanks for having me. I wanted to be on the podcast of this because people, for some reason, is still telling me that Goku is a bad father, including friends of mine.
Yeah, it still persists to the point where at some point after Team 4-Star made the joke, even they themselves came out and said, "Yeah, this is just a joke, but it's you guys that have taken this way too far. We just said it because it was funny."
Yeah,
it is funny to put it like that, but it's not the real thing. It's satire.
Well, what really gets me is that people are. You could probably stop me of this, but people always say that Goku is a retarded idiot, and I'm like, I mean, he's what's the word? Ignorant naive, ignorant to some things, but I wouldn't say he's a full-blown idiot. Like, he does strategize what he's going to do next, including...
He's a combat genius.
Right.
If he's smart with anything, it's with fighting. What he was raised with when he was raised by Old Man Gohan.
Yeah,
except in Super.
And survival.
Yeah,
well, that's a whole other discussion.
All right, so we've understood he's really good at fighting, but we want to see the arguments from this gentleman about why he's a bad father. So let's keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
Off-screen time doesn't count. If it was never addressed in the show, it clearly wasn't important
Thank
enough in
you.
the development of Goku's children. Final thing.
That is idiotic. That is completely idiotic. You just proved my thought, my what I thought you would do. That because it's not on screen, therefore it doesn't exist. Because you have to have everything spelled out. You need to see that every character takes a shit on the toilet to know that the people in Dragon Ball actually shit.
Yeah, you told us this same argument, and yeah, it's stupid. Like, these people, they want a filler episode. It sounds like they want a filler episode of everything that happens with these characters, and you don't fucking do that.
And even then, there are some.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you had absent parents that were never there, and therefore you cannot believe that there are parents who do something like care about their children if you can't see it.
So, from what I'm getting with him saying that you're eliminating the 4 years that he spent with Gohan after marrying Chi-Chi, you're eliminating after he comes back during the Android saga. You're eliminating post Cell because there's hints that he communicated with his family while he was still dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he called home from hell.
And then you're eliminating the post time skip at the end of the Boo saga,
Which is a full
where it's
decade.
it's a full 10-year break.
The
With
How
argument,
it-
about
yeah.
but Cyrek, we didn't see what happened in those 10 years, so nothing happened in those 10 years.
Yeah, correction. Dragon Ball Super.
well, Super is a different.
Not
Yeah,
canon.
yeah, same thing. That's a problem. If everything that isn't shown didn't happen, so if you time skip, that means nothing happened in that time except people got older.
Oh yeah,
They just stood in place, frozen and aged.
Yeah, we didn't see Naruto take a bath in the series, so is he stinky?
Does he ever wash his jumpsuit?
I don't know, and honestly, I don't fucking care.
We never saw Krillin and Android 18 have sex, so therefore, how do they have a baby?
Nor did we see Krillin grow out that freaking hair of his.
That's also like saying that Vegeta doesn't love Bulma, even though there's hints dropped throughout the entirety of them being married that
Bro.
they do
No,
actually
no.
care for one another.
the Battle
There's-
of Gods. That's my Bulma.
No, not only that, like, when he was sacrificing himself to kill Majin Buu, he's even said, like, Trunks,
For
Bulma, yeah, especially you, Kakarot.
It's like
even-
we've never embraced even since you were a baby. Let's hug. It's like, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if anyone brings that argument like, oh, Vegeta doesn't care about his family, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
And they definitely lean more into that recently with Super and the movies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right.
But anyway, back on topic.
Let's continue.
I'm going to be discussing the dubs, mostly the Funimation dub. And that's the version I'm familiar with. That's the version I'm sure most Westerner fans are probably familiar with. I don't know
Okay.
if the subtitle versions are different or if the manga significantly changes anything. All I know is that the
Oh my
Funimation
God.
dub of Goku is a terrible parent. Now, I know that the Goku is a bad dad narrative is something of a meme in the DBZ community.
It is a
due to
meme.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
It is a
but
meme.
let me be perfectly clear. I have always thought Goku was a terrible parent. Even
Well,
from
you're
when I was a
retarded.
little boy watching DBZ on Toonami. Well,
I don't believe that.
You're retarded if you think Goku is a
Dude.
bad father.
Dude,
Just
even the early Funimation dubs were like showing Goku as being as good a dad as he could.
One of
I
these
hope he has a
things.
better argument than he didn't hug him on screen.
One of these things is not true. Either you think he's a bad dad or you watch the show. It can't be both.
Let's hear what he has to say.
what is that Team 4-Star decided to adapt something that I personally agree with. It is a conclusion I have reached entirely from the source material. Now, admittedly,
No.
Let him get there.
That's
The anime is
impossible.
not the source material. The anime is an adaptation of the source material.
Well, he's going by
You
the
already
dub.
can't tell
right?
what the source material is.
It's fair enough to assess just the dub and he considers that his primary source. That's fine. You can do that. That doesn't
But
mean
it is not the primary source. It is
To
the
him it
adaptation
is.
of an adaptation, which
But
is
that's-
okay. You can say, okay, I go by this adaptation, but it is not the source material.
it's not the original source, but it is his primary because that's all he's got.
Well, the relevant point is that both disprove his argument.
Well, let's get to the points he
What-
wants to make. Let's
what
see his
is it?
evidence.
Yes. Yeah.
deep up its arcs. Most of the show is people waiting for Goku to show up and save the day. So Gohan can't really interact with his father too much. He can interact with less important characters that aren't going to signal the end of the arc, say Piccolo. But Goku showing up, being the protagonist and all, pretty much signals the beginning of the end for an arc. When you're watching 20 episodes of Gohan interacting with every other character, except for his father, it can give the impression that other characters are picking up the slack, or that Goku just isn't around that much. So admittedly, there is some bias just based on how the show is set up. That said, Goku still drops the ball. Let's take it from the literal top. To claim that Goku died for Gohan in his fight against Raditz is incredibly misleading. Raditz was
He
one
did!
of the
He-
planet.
Okay, the reason why Goku died in that scene is because okay,
At the time, the only way to stop Raditz was with the special beam cannon.
Yeah, but Raditz wasn't going to stay in one place, so Goku had to get him in a lock so he doesn't move, and there was no way of him to get out of the way in time, so Goku just said fire, and Piccolo was like, okay. And then after Piccolo killed, Goku, he thought he would get that satisfaction of killing him, but he didn't really. And then after learning that there were more of these Saiyans coming to Earth, he took Gohan to train him to be prepared. Now, I had this argument with people saying like Piccolo is more of a father than Goku.
No.
Because Piccolo trained him more and spent time with Gohan more. And I'm like, the only reason he spent time with him more is because he was trying to train him. I
do want to see
Gohan being a Saiyan is makes him the prime material to fight these monsters.
Yeah, fight fire with fire.
And this guy clearly
and Goku's not there to do it.
This guy clearly leaving out the big context of why Goku is fighting Raditz in the first place. Raditz kidnapped Gohan. Goku is there to get his son back.
Yeah, that was the inciting incident for this whole fight in the first place. Had Raditz not done that, it would have been something else, but it wouldn't have involved Gohan. But he went for Gohan immediately.
Now, there are probably arguments out there as saying, well, since Goku is back, how come Goku never trains Gohan? Well, firstly, he couldn't during the Frieza saga because he was out of commission.
He was at the hospital. He was at a hospital because there were no sensu beans at the time. Once he was given one, he immediately took off for Namek.
Right, and not only that, he did train Gohan with the Super Saiyan 2 or no Super Saiyan 1
in the time chamber for a year.
And
2 years.
Even before that, when after Future Trunks came back and gave Goku the message and the heart medication, Goku and Gohan were spending the next 3 years training together. So
also consider that had Gohan no Saiyan potential, Piccolo would not have bothered with him and just dropped him off by Chi-Chi.
And it wasn't 1 year in the chamber, it was 2. Because remember, they stayed 2 solid days in there.
Okay. And also we have a context from a little later after the Raditz fight where Vegeta and Nappa have a conversation saying that hybrid Saiyans have more potential than purebloods, which explains why Raditz immediately kidnapped Gohan in that moment.
Also, I will correct you. They did only take 1 day in the chamber.
Yeah, and the rest was staying in Super Saiyan to prepare for the fight with Cell.
Yeah, they specifically cut it down to 1 day specifically so they could take the time to relax and feel more natural in the Super Saiyan state during the 9 days before the
Cell games.
Cell
Yeah.
game.
All right.
That was all part of Goku's plan.
Yeah,
you see, with that kind of shit, he is smart, just not conventionally smart.
Yeah, he's not good at book smarts, but when it comes to fight smart and survival smart, he's good.
He's been a fighting prodigy since the original Dragon Ball, since he was a kid.
I was gonna say he's been fighting ever since he was a kid. He loves fighting. That's like his fucking passion.
But when push comes to shove, Goku will absolutely do the right thing because he does still have a conscience.
Yeah,
that's literally why he sacrificed himself when it came to Cell blowing himself up. He realized his major fuck up.
Yeah, and then
he knew he was the only one who could get Cell away from the planet.
Combine that Cell's very existence is specifically as a revenge tactic by Dr. Gero for after Goku destroyed the Red Ribbon Army base in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone always takes the problem of Goku killing himself for no reason, and I'm just sitting here like,
it isn't for no reason. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, well,
people claim it was for no reason.
Yes, they have, and they're idiots.
Yeah, and
they haven't watched the fucking show.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you have clearly not watched the show, and it's insulting that people say you don't know much about Dragon Ball because you never read the comics, and they're like, motherfucker, I've watched it enough to remember that all you're saying is fucking stupid. You need to go watch the anime again.
I watched this when this came out and understood this.
All right.
Right.
I think most of us
Fucking
did.
hell.
Let's get back
Heck,
to
you
the
can get a
video.
lot. Yeah, you can get a lot of that from the video game too. But anyway,
Saves the planet. Gohan is technically on the planet, but to say he died for Gohan implies Goku died for him specifically, and not to save the Earth as a whole. That's not
Bullshit.
being
Why
a
not?
good
Why not
dad.
both?
That's basic utilitarian calculus. That's a call pretty much anybody would.
You think Goku thinks utilitarian?
What the fuck?
Are you?
you think
Are you
Goku thinks
brain
calculus in
deranged?
general?
Yeah,
Do you have your
I
brain
don't
in a
even think
twist?
calculus. What the hell?
yeah.
Now, even if Goku thinks of that, the primary thought is my family, my son. But
Yeah.
since you apparently don't have love for anyone, including your family, and hopefully don't have children, you don't understand this.
Also, one extra bit of context: the fact that Gohan burst out of Raditz' spaceship, headbutted him in the chest, giving Goku the opportunity to hold him down.
Right.
Specifically yelling the word "Leave my daddy alone."
Yes, there is a connection there.
I'm not sure.
Sounds like he likes his father.
I'm not sure he knows what utilitarianism is, let alone utilitarian calculus. That relates to the greatest pleasure. So,
Yes, big words to make sound smart.
I don't even know what the word means.
You could
but
have
I
just
would-
said calculus, but again, that implies that there's a secondary reason for what Goku is doing. Most of the reasons are save planet, fight, and protect friends and family. That's about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goku is Goku is not dumb. He's simple.
Yeah, he would
he's
die for
These simple mountain folk.
he would give his life away if it means protecting Earth and his family, which we have seen multiple times through the Sand, Frieza. Well, that was Madmec, but he did came to Earth.
Yeah, he did come back still.
Yeah, but and now with the Boo and the android, he like if you want to say he's a bad father or a bad person or an idiot, rewatch the anime again. Fucking dare you.
We always make the joke of Goku is just Japanese Superman, but there is some accuracy to that in
Right.
terms of his values and morals.
And plus, keep in mind, Goku is probably a better example as a superhero than anything in the MCU.
Anything from the big two right now, yeah, it's
Yeah,
No
Goku is a
question.
better superhero than all of that put together.
All right. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Yes.
They fucking hated their kid. I'm not implying Goku does, but I am saying that that's not something unique to being a good parent. Saving the Earth is something anybody would want to do, even at the cost of their life. Even
Are you sure?
then,
Some people wanna watch
Maybe
it
while
one
you're on it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are enough
then
people
there-
out there who hate who despise humanity, and who don't give a shit about the planet at the same time.
Like
And
the
that's
left.
why I say Goku is a better hero than any MCU because they always think about themselves.
Well, at least the current stuff.
Goku, sure, he got the selfish desire of I want a really good fight out of it, but he still also knows, hey, if I don't step up, my planet's doomed, and I live there, and I love the people here. I don't want to see
Yeah,
my
like-
planet die.
Yeah.
Like my wife and my kid,
Right.
and the guy who keeps losing in
I
fights.
consider saving your kid a mark of a good parent. I just consider it parenting. Full stop. You are literally not a parent anymore when your only child dies. Keeping your kid alive is
That's
What?
Okay.
technically
Okay.
true, but it doesn't.
But that's not
That-
the argument here.
Dude, that statement alone just made me really angry because I know I know some really good people, and their son died. Their son was like a brother to me. And like you trying the words you just said are trying to invalidate things so badly. I just cannot believe you have a functioning brain.
Yes. Welcome to the Smudcast.
All right.
I'm starting to see hyper rational thought here, and that means it's not coming out well for him.
Yeah.
Hyper rational thought usually leads to bad
me,
conclusions.
This is just showing up for the test. I don't give points for doing the most basic and core function of what is demanded from a dad. We'll talk about the other instance of this later, but
What have you any idea how many parents that do all the other shit but not this are out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like
Fucking
blaming
hell.
a parent for being a soldier and being away from home and possibly dying in war. It's like, oh, what a horrible parent. It's like he's a soldier as well. Like he's doing a job.
Yeah.
So he cares only about the superficial crap.
Yeah, it just came to me. We can kind of apply this similarly to the relationship between Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd, because what he said about like if your son dies, you're not a parent anymore. When Bruce lost Jason, even when Jason came back, he still didn't give up on him.
Yeah.
That was still on the back of his mind from the time of Jason's death to when he was resurrected. So I'm pretty sure Goku would go through a similar thought process if he ever lost Gohan. Guaranteed.
Yeah, just because you lose somebody important to you doesn't mean they're not going to be thought about.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you forget them.
Yeah, they're going to be on the back of your mind all the time.
It's like if your loved one dies, you don't have a loved one anymore.
Well, that's
physically,
Physically, yeah. Mentally, no. They're
All
still
right.
with us in our heart.
I don't think this guy has any empathy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Anyway,
He really does.
let's not get into that. Let's keep going.
Right now, we gotta talk about this bullshit. So, believing in your son's power is the most technical turbo cope of this entire image. Everything about the Cell
Turbo
arc demonstrates why Goku is an awful dad and legitimately does not understand the other people around him. In the Cell arc, Goku's grand plan is he wants to have Gohan fight. He doesn't tell him over the course of the year they spend together before the Cell games, and then sends out his son like a goddamn Pokemon to become a murderer at age 11, or everyone dies. All this because Goku wants Gohan to essentially be the new champion of the Earth, a responsibility and title he never asked for. Not only does this plan place an
Neither
immense
did
amount
Goku.
of pressure that a boy his age should not be fucking dealing with, it also has a massive flaw that comes exclusively from Goku's ineptness at understanding his own
Big counterpoint. The plan still succeeded.
Yep.
So
there's nothing you can say after that.
he trains with his son for an entire year. Like I don't know if you guys know about the kind of training they were doing exactly, but it's pretty intense.
Very intense.
It's-
It's like that. The time chamber is
intense.
made specifically for that.
Yeah. So
That means they also spent a lot of family time together.
they're fighting.
They
and
were
fighting.
fighting 24/7.
They're
And
training.
especially for them, that is family time. Training time is family time for this
Okay.
family.
So
Yeah,
they're-
but I've heard the argument that training is not spending time with your family, which I have told
For
you
these
guys about.
people, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, and even if it would be a hobby, it would spending hobby time with your family. Spending hobby time with your family is family time.
right, and even
No,
if
but it's training. That's not spending time with their family.
Well-
You need to, fucking.
Would you take
If
going
I'd
to the
spend
gym
time with
your
my family training for anything, that would still be family time because we are
Yes.
training together as a family and
Yep.
sharing our wisdom and knowledge and all the little nifty tricks and everything.
We're
And-
training together to
Together.
protect the
It's
world.
the most family time imaginable.
Yes.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
go ahead, Smud.
So Goku is with his son for a year, and we all agree that Goku is a tactical genius. He's very good at fighting. So when he finally gets out of the training and he sees what he has to go up against, he's like, wait a second. I've been fighting with this guy for a year. He's my son. He's the best man for the job. At this point, you could argue, well, he's not a very good parent, but you know what? He knows what's the right thing to do at this point in time. And if his son is going to win, that means his son's going to be a hero. His son's going to be alive. He could then live with his son a lot longer than if he went to go fight Cell, he would probably lose.
He knows
Goku
he
would
knows
have
best
lost.
after this what his son is capable of, and he can assess the enemy. So he can measure, can my son beat this asshole?
So to me, that's even being a better father, because he's like, I want to do the right thing, not only for my son, but for the world. And if that involves saving the world through my son's going to be a better person as a result of that. I'm going to learn from that. Maybe I'm going to get stronger as a result. Maybe I'll learn to be a better father. This is like saying, I'm going to sacrifice my son knowing I'm going to die when I know who the right man for the job is, and saving us a lot of effort and time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Yeah, this is.
And he's teaching his son the confidence that he can do this, that his father doesn't need to do everything for him. He doesn't need to fight every villain for
Which
him.
training no longer could have helped him with, right?
Yeah.
Combined with what I said earlier about the conversation Vegeta and Nappa had while they were on their way to Earth, of hybrids having more potential to be more powerful than purebloods. It's all stems from that one conversation.
Yep.
Also,
And-
didn't Goku give Gohan the opportunity to say no, and Gohan accepted anyways, knowing the fact that he would have to face Cell at some point?
Because they both realized that it was ultimately the right decision for Gohan to fight at that point.
Gohan's not stupid. He's
Yeah.
actually a smart guy. So he's like, oh, wait.
I mean, he's really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the other characters are calling Goku out for making that decision, but they don't know what he knows.
Yeah.
Right.
And here's something, and this is technically filler for the anime, but while they were in the time chamber during the filler flashback, Goku actually did see Gohan briefly go Super Saiyan 2, but he was so exhausted from the training at that point
He
that
couldn't hold it.
yeah, it was literally a split second that he
That
could see
might
that
have-
power.
That might have been in the manga, but I'm not entirely sure.
Did
I don't know.
Gohan turn
I do know.
Did
I do
Gohan
know
turn?
it was-
Did Gohan turn Super Saiyan 2 first, or did the
No.
other-
In the year of training, Goku made sure to help Gohan unlock Super Saiyan 1 first and work from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And Gohan was the first Saiyan to become Super Saiyan 2.
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
In fact, he technically did it for the first time in the hyperbolic time chamber, but like I said, he was so exhausted from the intense training they were just doing, because Gohan was actually wanting to keep going, even though Goku himself was saying, "I think we need a break."
Yeah.
And
People forget that little
and-
that little exchange.
Yeah.
Not
and
only
when-
that, they took a bath
and-
together.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
TLDR for this. Goku knew what his son is capable of after a year of training.
Yep.
He can assess the enemy, and he knows his son needs the confidence to know that he can do this and doesn't need his father to do it for him.
taking
And
all
I
of-
remember, what I remember from the scene in the anime is that Goku is so relaxed. He's smiling. It's like just another day of oh, look, the sky is blue. I wonder what Chi-Chi makes for dinner. That was his attitude here.
That's the giveaway for telling the audience that he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
And the only time that he steps in is whenever Cell is going to blow himself up and everybody else on the planet.
Now he did have a moment of doubt when the Cell Juniors came into play, but ultimately his plan succeeded.
yeah.
But guys, Abridged told me that Goku is stupid.
Fuck Abridged. Oi.
He's
I
just
love
sim-
Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but like
Yep.
like the fucking creators of Dragon Ball Z Abridged themselves say, hey, do not use our material as your basis for talking about Dragon Ball Z. Watch the original show, please.
Yes.
And as we know, Goku, yes, he fell on his head as a kid. Yes, he is naive. But he thinks very simple in most regards.
He is
Gohan-
different folk after all.
Gohan has a proper school education. Goku has not.
Mhm.
Goku never went to school. He never had the chance.
No.
Yeah, the most education he got was the little amount that Master Roshi had him do when
The basic
he was
stuff,
training under
yeah.
him. Yeah.
In the lead up to the first tournament of the show.
Now,
Yeah, okay.
if you want to talk about like who would be the best to teach someone survival, it would be Goku, because he had to survive probably in the most harshest ways. Like he has to find his food, hunt his food,
And he had to do that since he was a little kid.
Yeah, so if you want to learn basic survival, I don't know about basic coming from this show, but he would be perfect for the job because, well, he's been experienced with this longer.
I mean, you could make the argument that there's a couple people on this earth that do that. Like Chi-Chi, when Goku first met her, she killed a T-Rex and cooked him for dinner when she was like 5.
I didn't remember that. Well, it's been a while since.
She had this X blade on her helmet that she could throw around like a boomerang.
Yeah,
okay.
I've watched the original Dragon Ball. I don't remember that happening. I know she got
pretty much in the beginning. It's one of the first episodes.
I know she got it. I know she got her helmet blade stuck in somebody's head. I think it was Yamcha, but
All right. Anyway, let's keep going.
yeah, off topic.
He doesn't thirst for battle and mayhem. He's not a fighter like you.
Wait, that's the English dub?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Funimation dub.
That sounds horrible.
I mean, I've watched.
I mean, I know I'm used to another dub, but that voice for Piccolo is way too deep.
I'm used to it.
Yeah,
I know. When you're used to it, when it's the first thing you grow up with, then it's okay. But it's like, for me, it's really uncanny right now.
All right, here is Kyle Rocket. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? There are in real life parents who won't kill for their child. Meanwhile, if you fizzo much and as insult Goku's family, you're gonna meet Kakarot. Goku damn well beat immortality out of Zamasu after he was told his family was killed. Imagine he witnessed that.
Yeah, the scene in Dragon Ball Super where Goku Black tells Goku that he killed that timeline version of Chi-Chi and Goten. And Goku immediately snapped and started laying a massive beatdown on both him and Damasu. Even though the Damasu at that moment was, immortal. He didn't care. He was just like, you killed my family. I'm going to kick the crap out of you right now.
Also, speaking of Super, another argument that people say that Goku is an idiot. He hired Hit to assassinate him so he can fight him. What is your guys' thoughts on that?
Goku wanted to be able to fight Hit at their full power, which he knew he wasn't going to get in the tournament setting they had beforehand. So, yeah, he just went with the elaborate hit on himself as a means of getting that fight.
Yeah, but people say it's like a stupid thing for him to do, and it's like, well,
he's an alien monkey person bred to fight.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the entire species. They're warriors. Their whole existence is fighting. And Hit, I don't know if he's exactly a warrior. I know he's just a hit man, but I don't know about warriors. So,
well, before we saw, Caulifla and Kale, you could definitely argue he was the strongest fighter of Universe 6 before the Tournament of Power. And then, he actually did want to fight Goku at their full strength, which they couldn't get in the tournament setting they did when they first met.
Yeah.
So, Goku's simple-minded need for more battle was just like, I could make use of Hit's profession so I could get this fight that I really want out of him.
You could say his Saiyan nature got the better of him, absolutely, but he was more than powerful enough to get himself out of it.
Yeah. In fact, Hit did kill him, but Goku did revive himself because he conveniently shot a ki blast into the air that came down and hit him. Again.
Yeah.
He resuscitated himself, yeah.
Which I had to reclaim that mistake that I made because during the discussion I had with a friend, I was like, no, he didn't die in Super. And then I saw a clip and I was like, okay, I will retract my mistake. But he still wasn't an idiot, but people were like, yeah, he was.
They're just ignorant
you can do the occasional stupid thing, but you're not going to be an idiot. Hit putting the hit out on himself for Hit to do, from anybody with a logical brain, that's stupid, but that's what Goku felt he needed to do just to get that fight with Hit that he really wanted.
Yeah, and again, the whole thing of giving Cell a senzu bean, first of all, that was to let a little bit of Cell's guard down, and second of all, if it isn't obvious enough, Vegeta still did it worse by letting Cell get to that point in the first place.
Yeah. And, Goku, like the scene showed, Goku he called out on the devoted idiotic move. And, you can't tell me that face right there is the face of, crap, I just may have made a big mistake here.
But
It clearly
again,
shows that Goku caring.
yeah, but again, the underlying thing here, like I said earlier, is that they don't know what he knows.
Yeah, they don't know what he knows. But Goku is at least taking into consideration that I may have made an error here
Yeah.
Yeah.
in my grand plan.
Okay.
Not think of everything.
All right. We're
So
5
he's
minutes.
simple. He's simple, but not careless.
We are more than 5 minutes in. So far, the arguments aren't really landing too well. They seem to be suppositional on him coming to the conclusion that he's bad because he likes to fight, and his son doesn't like to fight as much. And what else? I'm trying to remember. The other well, it hasn't been much. I haven't been remembering anything that what he's saying of any value, unfortunately.
There's so many people worse fathers than Goku. I would rather have Goku than many people out there.
Yeah.
Well,
Goku is way on the positive side of that bar.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't call Vegeta a worse father, but I'm just like, where are all the videos of everyone
would
calling
say-
out all of Vegeta's mistakes?
I would say Vegeta, as harsh as he is, he does make his son stronger with his harsh nature in a way. Like, it's tough love. Like, Goku is the soft, gentle love, but Vegeta is the tough love.
Yeah.
All right. Good enough. Let's continue.
Do you want to know what he's thinking? He's not thinking about strength or about competition. He's wondering why his father is standing there, letting him die. And so your son may be the most powerful person in the world, but he's also a scared 11-year-old boy.
Now, the fact that Goku doesn't know that Gohan doesn't like fighting might not seem that bad on its own, but let's just take a look at how many...
That's just typical parental projection problems.
That was a matter of son realization, not a matter of Goku dumb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He was so focused on Gohan having the potential to be the strongest of all of them that he sidestepped the fact that he did not he did kind of factor in it. He sidestepped the fact that Gohan's still a kid.
This is typical stuff that many parents do of, I played the violin, here are violin lessons.
Yeah,
Whether you have talent for that or not. And even if you have talent, maybe you don't like your talent.
And remember, it's especially prominent considering the fact that Goku was doing similar stuff to what he's trying to put Gohan into right now when he was about that age.
So
But
worst,
even then,
it's a matter of misconception.
Yeah, but even then, it is, regardless of whether the kid likes it or not, to make the kid capitalize on its talents at a young age will serve the kid for the entire lifespan.
Yeah.
And that is the long-term thinking. The kid can't see that yet, but this is the best time to capitalize on your talent and hone it.
Yeah, this is an odd argument because when you're talking about a parent saying you should go to whatever program I put you into, it's up to the kid to say, "Dad, I don't like doing this," or I don't want to go. I'm not having fun. I don't know if you guys. I've had piano lessons before. I stopped for a year, and then I went back. I just didn't want to do it for that. The same with language lessons. I didn't want to do Italian, then I went back. So it comes about, he should pay attention to his son. It's like, did his son make this statement? Did Gohan ever say, Dad, I don't want to fight? It's like, no, we're fighting to save the world. Gohan's not stupid. I got to do this. It's not because I like it or not.
Part of saving the world is training Gohan.
And we have at least 3 other times after this where if the moment Gohan realizes the stakes, he steps up.
Yeah.
As someone who likes shooting guns, you think I want to go to war and shoot people? No, it's not fun. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's nightmare. The things that you see in war. Like, when I shoot, guns, I don't do it because I want to go to the next war. I do it because it's like, it's cool, it's fun to see what different guns do. Like,
And they'll
nobody
come in
wants
handy
that.
if I'm in a pinch.
Yeah, like nobody wants to go to war. Like, despite what people are saying nowadays because they're retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to go to war. It suck.
All right. Let's
Also,
continue.
like Goldy Warrior in the chat, that parents do make mistakes.
Yes, that is a fact.
Parents will not be perfect.
No.
Yeah, and if it's all about the utilitarianism that the way he put it, if it's all about that for Goku, then training his son relentlessly would be the only answer because his son can be stronger than him.
It's hard to apply utilitarian philosophy or ethics to fighting. It's kind of like, oh, this is painful. This is everything is going to hurt. Everyone's going to die. It's like, the greatest pleasure is if I kill all my enemies, apparently. How do you measure that utilitarian way? I don't know.
The general public understanding of utilitarianism is not about what brings me the greatest pleasure, but what under the line brings the most the best outcome, which would be applied to a military decision. How do the least of my soldiers die, or how do I get how do I end the war the quickest so that the fewest people die?
That would just be calculus, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but I've noticed in Germany a lot of people understand this as utilitarianism.
Really? Huh. Interesting.
Funny Nightmare.
You know how public perception, public belief of a term is often different from the actual definition.
That's fine. I mean, it's just an odd use of the word. If you're going to use it, use the right word so your arguments make sense. Not the ad populum phrasing. It makes things confusing for me. Anyway, this is fine. The statement. What's wrong?
Before we start up again, Funny Nightmare did bring up a good point in the chat.
Oh. That
Gohan is a smart guy who does not like fighting, but knows that he must do it to protect those he loves. Future Gohan is the result of that.
The Gohan from the alternate timeline that Trunks comes from.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
And the parallel is proven right there, whereas the alternate adult Gohan dies trying to save the Earth. The Gohan that still had his dad to train with and make him stronger succeeded.
Yeah.
To the point where they both, their final action in both instances is only being able to use one arm to finish the fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's good.
That parallel is proof that Goku being there for Gohan makes all the difference.
All right. Anyway, let's continue.
Traumatic experiences you would have to ignore to not know this. Gohan's interactions with fighting goes as follows. His uncle kidnaps him, shortly followed by his dad dying. He's left in the wilderness and then trains with a green slug man. He fights for his life, watching as his friends are killed one by one, only just barely able to scrape out a win. Then he goes into space where his neck is snapped. He gets the hell beaten out of him by Space Hitler and then watches his friends die again. Bear in mind, I'm just listing major fights he had an actually important role in. I could bite the bullet and bring up indirect instances of trauma. Things like watching the Namekians being killed could not have been good for him. Not to mention Goku choosing to stay out in space rather than be with his...
By that point, he had seen similar already.
Yeah,
family.
The fight with
Goku prioritized fighting over spending time with Gohan. Watching people die horribly and having your father prioritize training over you, I imagine would leave you with bad...
The training is about you.
Combat on its own.
Because the training is about you, because the training makes you survive.
Yeah,
because if I don't train you this way, you will die, and I don't want you to die because you're my son and I love you.
This is trying to rationalize.
When he was out in space, he simply did not know what direction to go in to get back to Earth. It took him. It took the Yardrats helping him with that.
Yeah, this is fighting for your life, training to get stronger so everyone can survive. And he's arguing, well, he wasn't with his kid when he did that. It's like, okay, what did you want him to do? Like find his kid first and then start training?
Also, staying out in space as long as he did was ultimately to everyone's benefit because he learned instant transmission as well.
Yeah, from the Yardrat.
Yes.
And then even though it's filler, Gohan proved to be very capable of fighter in the time without his dad during the Girl Junior Saga, whether or not you argue it's a good or bad arc in general.
So
the fact it's a filler arc.
It's still some form of evidence, yeah.
This quote in the chat that I sent was an argument from a friend of mine.
Did you want to read it?
Well, it's there just for anyone who wants to read it later.
Okay.
We could probably discuss it later in the stream, or later of the stream. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I've said before that the arguments of your friend are very, very dumb. Doesn't understand
Yes.
people.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep on going.
Beaten and almost killed probably doesn't help either. Friendly reminder that at the start of Dragon Ball Z, he's 4 and is then 11 by the time of the Cell games.
Gee, I wonder why he doesn't like fighting.
Some of these events Goku
Okay.
wasn't there for, so either
First off, I said this again. Nobody likes fighting. Do you think I want to sit here and watch people get disabled by a fucking grenade?
Let's do the math. Out of the 11 years of life that Gohan has lived up until the fight with Cell, 8 of those were with his father.
Yeah.
Right.
So, just doing that math disproves that point.
I mean, there's
Tournament fighting, sport fighting, that can be great fun. That's why people do it.
Yeah.
In fact,
but
Gohan does
the
like
real-
fighting in that sense, but
Yeah, but real
having to fight-
situations, that's a very different topic.
Yes.
I mean,
Gohan liked to fight in terms of like competition and exercise, but not really for having to protect people.
or kill the enemy because
Well,
Up until he absolutely has to.
Yeah.
Which has happened at
And
least
he-
4 times now.
And he'll even though he doesn't like to fight like that, he still does it anyway because he's like, if I don't step up, who the hell else will?
Also, remember, he's torn between trying to please his mom and spend time with his dad
Yeah.
because his
And
mom
remember-
does not want him to be a fighter whatsoever.
Yeah.
yes,
Even though it's to everyone's benefit that he is a fighter.
I
And
heard,
you know,
oh,
and
sorry,
you know,
go
you
ahead.
can't, and you know, you can kind of see Chi-Chi eventually get a little more lax on that after Goku died in the Cell game, considering the fact she actually trained Goten in herself.
Yeah, even with Chi-Chi, like Goku, even in death, like kind of proves his point against Chi-Chi's counter argument because yeah, the world needs someone to protect it, and when Goku dies to Cell, she starts coming around to that idea.
Yeah, she comes around. She may want her kid to have normal lives, but she still understands Goku's point of view on it too.
Yeah,
She
that's another
And, like,
positive effect that Goku's
her-
mindset has had on the people he cares about.
and like the main argumentative side of Chi-Chi is just the fact of her, you know, being a mama bear. She just doesn't want to see her kid getting hurt.
Yeah, like a normal family doesn't want any
Heck.
parent to get hurt.
Heck,
And like, it's a job
prove
that's not just the job of the mother. Chi-Chi also knows what kind of monsters are out there. After all, her
Heck, when she
husband fought the evil side of God.
He
Yeah.
fought the Demon King.
she watched him fight Piccolo Jr. in the tournament. She watched him become quadriplegic in the fight, but she still understood that Piccolo had to be stopped at that point.
Yes. And that was before
and-
having the kid.
Yeah, and then fast forward all the way to GT when she's like she's a middle-aged grandma. At one point, she actually decided, I'm actually willing to go out there and start beating up bad guys myself.
And not
to
only
help save
that,
the
yeah.
world.
Yeah, and like Tyler Preston said in the chat, yeah, Chi-Chi was a fighter herself, so in terms of stepping up to the challenge and doing the right thing, she knows that all too well.
Yeah, in fact, she actually does like take out 1 or 2 guys in the Lord Slug movie.
not only that, when Gigi may not want Gohan to fight, there was a point where it's very vague, where there's a point where she said to Gohan, you can go fight them just this once, but please come back safe.
I'm pretty sure, wasn't that the fight with Omega Shenron?
I don't know.
Keyblade?
Um,
In GT?
Was it in
don't
GT
remember-
or Z?
I don't remember that being in GT. I feel like that might
Or-
be in one of the D movies.
Probably, but there was a point where, like, when push comes to shove, she'll bite the bullet and accept the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Which is Goku's entire point. It's like, if not them, who will? Which is why they specifically had Goku say that in movie 13 against Hirudegarn.
Yeah. Heck, in the BoJack movie, which you can argue is one of the few movies that can actually exist in the canon timeline.
There's no contradictions, yeah.
Yeah, she actually supports Gohan entering the tournament that, the main center stage of the whole movie. And I'm pretty sure she was cheering him on when BoJack happened to be out. But
That combined with Goten was already conceived at that point.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Let's continue.
Yeah, with that said, let's keep going with...
gave birth, so,
exactly.
yeah.
With that said, let's keep going with Gohan specifically.
Bothered to talk to his son about all these near-death experiences, or didn't put two and two together, because this is the easiest thing in the world to understand. What's even more damning is that Goku showed up on Namek right as Gohan got his neck snapped. I know for a fact that Goku knows what that looks like, so I can only assume that he looked down at his son, nearly dead on the ground, and went, yeah man, Gohan loves this.
As if he had any control over that. His ship was on autopilot.
Yeah. Also, he brings up the Krillin thing. Krillin took a really bad boot to the head from Tambourine. I don't know if the neck snap happened, but he definitely got hit hard enough in the head to, hit his brain and kill him.
Not to mention the horn from Frieza's second form later.
Yeah.
Right through the chest. But that specific point, he just so happened to show up when Gohan was battered and beaten. He had no control over that.
Yeah.
Blame the ship, not Goku.
He was literally at the mercy of the ship, and the first thing he does, he doesn't go to fight. He goes instantly to giving out.
On them first.
Yeah, he goes instantly to checking on his friend and Vegeta.
He gave exactly. He checked on his friends and allies first, and then fended off Raccoon.
Yeah, in one blow.
One blow, exactly. That's how strong he'd gotten at that point already.
And then Vegeta killed Raccoon and the others, and even Goku was like, "Don't kill them," and Vegeta was like, "Fuck you."
Well, that's just Vegeta pre-redemption.
Yeah, but
at the same time, Vegeta did have a point that, if they didn't kill them, they probably would have been coming after them later.
Also true.
Yeah.
See, there's nuance in Dragon Ball.
There's a lot of nuance in these animes I watch with Naruto and fucking Dragon Ball. Like every time I watch anyone reviews anime, it's always like, "Oh, Naruto's a retarded idiot." Oh, Goku
like
is a
that one conversation sounded something like straight out of a Batman Superman team up, where it's like, "Don't kill them." Oh, but killing them is still a good thing because they'll still keep at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ultimately, their main problem is they want complex characters, but they don't have the patience for the complexity.
Yeah, don't have the patience to sit down and actually watch it, or read it, or play it, or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I sometimes get Nancy over stuff, but I can sit through an entire anime and just wait patiently. So that's their problem.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we all waited through the whole bunch of like filler of the fight of Goku and Frieza when the anime had to stall for the manga to catch up.
Yeah, I did skip through some of the fillers in Naruto. I probably shouldn't, but I was just like, I just kind of want to get
100 episodes.
And hey, if you want to watch Dragon Ball D without most of the filler, you can always watch Kai.
Yeah, Kai's for that specific. Exactly, Kai exists for that very reason.
I've heard I heard people say Kai is a bad thing.
No. Okay.
If anything, it's kind of like the example of Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where it's trying to be closer to the manga than the original anime would.
Which isn't much, but the effort is still appreciated.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right. With that said, let's keep going.
to prove my point that Goku isn't a capable guardian. This is criminal levels of incompetence. But alas, we have more sins of
This is
parenting
war.
yet to come. Fast forward a bit, and Goku sacrifices himself to save the Earth. Again, not technically for Gohan, but credit where credit is due. He does
Yes, it
a
is.
nice little pep talk, and then using.
Yes, it is. That was
No.
the last bit of motivation that Gohan needed to step up and beat Cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this argument, he didn't do it for Gohan. If he didn't
Yes,
do it
he
for Gohan, then why did he do it in the first place? Just because he felt like it?
It was mainly for Gohan, but also because, as he himself says, he's been a magnet for trouble this entire time. Cell's very existence is as a revenge tactic by the Red Ribbon Army against Goku.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, Goku sacrifice would also had another thing. It also reined Gohan in because he was also having a major ego problem
Because the
when he was Super Saiyan 2.
because the power of Super Saiyan 2 got to his head.
Yeah, he was handily beating down Cell like nothing, but
Because
just like
initial thing
Goku.
was go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, just like Goku's initial transformation for Super Saiyan 1 against Frieza.
Was out of anger.
Yeah, the anger was clouding Gohan's judgment and making him a little more egotistical.
Well, for Goku it was anger. For Gohan it was ego.
Well,
It was
it's kind of both.
overconfidence, arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goku was just straight up anger because Krillin had just died. But Gohan it was further with arrogance and ego.
Yeah, it was arrogant ego and frustration with himself, not, more willingly being able to tap into that power from when he snapped.
Yes.
Yeah. Which this isn't the first.
It finally connected when Android 16 gave him the pep talk, and then, Cell stomped his foot on his head and killed him.
Then that was the trigger for Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
And again, like, Goku sacrificed himself, again, mainly for Gohan, so that Gohan can get his head out of his ass. But also, Goku had the baggage of all of Dragon Ball, and Z up to this point where he's been the one that most of the situations are where he's at fault for most of what's happened up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
He sacrifices himself, and because Gohan doesn't have that baggage, he can be a better protector of the Earth than Goku ever would have been.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point.
He talks Gohan through how to win. To be clear, I always assumed this was just Gohan's imagination or just a visual metaphor. I never thought it was like Goku's spirit or anything, just artistic imagery. All of this, I feel, is an acceptable level of parenting until this shit happens.
Years ago, that stuck with me. She told me I was like a magnet for all the bad guys that were always popping up. And if you think about it, that's not really too far from the truth. I get the feeling that Earth's gonna be way more peaceful if I just stay where I am now. And King Kai agrees with me.
This is stupid on multiple levels. First,
How?
Goku, you have a...
Okay. The basic logic of what he's saying is true. The in-universe contradiction is later when Boo shows up because of Gohan. That's the irony.
Yeah. Also, I get
because the whole let me just say this, because the whole reason why Boo showed up, because why Babidi and Deborah showed up in the first place to finish collecting energy for Boo, is because of Gohan unleashing all of his power against Cell. That is the reason.
Right. And
that's the irony with what Goku said. It's like being a magnet for trouble. The irony is that Gohan caused it for himself with Boo. It's his fault, essentially.
And I could kind of understand where Goku is coming from, because it's like if Spider-Man said, I'm like a magnet for all of the troubles. So, which is why I could probably see him sacrificing himself for that reason, and also not tell anyone that he's Spider-Man, which, for some fucking reason, Spider-Man nowadays is just letting everyone give in to the secret. Like Spider-Man fucking Far From Home, where now MJ and fucking his aunt knows that he's Spider-Man. It's like, that's
not anymore.
Oh well, yeah, not anymore because of that fucking
because they reversed that. But yeah,
which is
which is even
Everybody
dumber.
did.
But yeah,
Yeah, but that is the general bad writing of today, where the superhero secret identity is only something that exists on paper, but not in practice.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why these people are so obsessed of letting the hero knows their secret identity, because it's like...
The secret identity reveal has become almost a fetishistic trope.
Yeah, and, people could probably argue, well, what about Spider-Man 2, where MJ knew about Spider-Man? It's like...
well, it's just the one person, first off.
Yeah, it was the one person, but...
Yeah, that's a secret sharing, but these people can't keep secrets.
Yeah, and I
They
think...
need-
Not the people of today, no.
And
Yeah, but
I think-
that's the part that's driven by this endless sense of validation of needing validation. Of, look, I am the superhero. Give me a clap, please clap.
Plus, the only...
Tony Stark could get away with it because he had the ego to justify it.
Yeah.
Right, and plus, the only reason in Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man face was revealed to MJ is because he was revealing his face to Dr. Octavius because he wants him to know that what you're doing is wrong because he was controlled by the arms AI making him do things.
Yeah,
And
but
that's how...
to bring an actual parallel to the Western superheroes is that we've had people argue that the villains of Batman and sometimes Superman only exist because of the hero.
Mm-hmm.
And for them, that's bullshit. And for Goku, there is in-world logic for some of that happening.
Well, actually, all of them. Just all of the ones in Dragon Ball Z, the logic fits because the Saiyans are there. Because Goku was one of them, he didn't have the same programming to actually complete his assignment, give it to him at birth. So Raditz came along, and then the other two. Yeah, he didn't report back. And then Frieza is a direct extension of that. And then again, Cell was a revenge plot by the Red Ribbon Army. And then Boo was because Goku sacrificed himself and told Gohan to unleash all his power, which signaled Babidi to come to Earth to finish gathering the energy for Boo.
Oh, that's the great thing, that there's oh god, how do I say this? It sounds dumb. Continuation of the things happening. There's a thread through it all, which is something that is not there for the Western superheroes.
Yeah,
they all have their distinct stories.
Yeah, there's the continuity for it in the case of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. They follow more straight line continuity instead of...
And even Piccolo's whole reason for still being here is because Goku killed the original Demon King Piccolo, and then his reincarnation wanted revenge. But over the course of all those years later, Piccolo Jr. was ultimately became a good guy.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the same scenario of Sasuke's brother being there. Is the only reason he was there is because Naruto's nine-tailed fox. He wanted that power. Like, I think everyone in the show wants his power. I think I hadn't got that far yet, so I don't know how many goes after Naruto for his nine-tailed fox power, but yeah, they exist for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, back to the video.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you may know about the second kid coming along the way. A second parent is always better. Why are you opting out of raising your kids and being a good husband on the off chance something will happen? Second,
because war. It's just a very different type of war. But I
maybe
a bad father for going to World War II?
Also, we see it right now. He's walking up to his son and being like, "Hey, little guy, I'm your father."
Boom. Yeah, there's a little me behind you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did he just complain that Goku wasn't there for Goten because he was dead?
We can clearly see the evidence that he's fucking wrong.
he was dead for 7 years. He was in Otherworld for 7 years, and he just came back.
Yeah, like
even if it was only for one day.
Exactly.
Originally, he was still like, "Hey, I have a second son. Cool."
Also,
I want to get to know him.
the rules in this universe, you cannot enter the mortal world unless you get like some kind of pass as a soul into the mortal world.
One day every year.
Yeah. So you could make the argument, why wasn't he there? It's like, oh, I don't know. Maybe if you watch the fucking anime, there's a rule.
Also, they told him about the tournament, and he waited on using his 1 day on Earth until he decided to use up his 1 day on Earth for the tournament.
Right.
Yeah. He killed
The same
two
thing-
birds with one stone. Oh,
Same thing
Get to
with-
see his family again and get to fight in the tournament.
Same thing with the whole Frieza thing. He had like a couple of years until after the tournament, and then he had to go back until Wisp.
Wait, clarify that. Frieza, what? Clarify that.
Hello.
Okay, so remember the tournament where they need like for all the universe fighters, and Frieza.
Okay,
was
the tournament of power. Yeah.
Yeah, and Frieza, since Boo was sleeping and he won't wake up after the tournament is over,
That they needed a replacement, and they decided on Frieza.
yeah, and they were all against it, but everyone was like, we'll keep an eye on him to make sure he doesn't do anything malicious.
That's another example of Goku knowing better than anyone else, like legitimately knowing better.
Right.
He knew Frieza had the strength to very much help them, and he knew how to goad Frieza into agreeing.
Yeah.
And not only that, everyone, including fucking Beerus, said like, you don't think he would use the Super Dragon Ball for malicious thing, and Whis said like it's a possibility, yes, considering his back history and
Considering everything he's done up to that point, yeah.
Yeah. So he would go against something like the gods just to get to the Super Dragon Ball.
But Goku was willing to take the risk.
Right.
Goku was willing to take the risk, and he could kindly get that Frieza, as much of an evil dick that he is.
Goku knew for a fact Frieza was not going to end up with that wish.
Yeah, like Goku and Vegeta.
He knew
One at a
Frieza
time.
would. Yeah.
Like Goku knows Frieza better than probably anyone else on Earth, including his friends that fought against Frieza.
Even Vegeta, who has based on time known about Frieza for more time than anyone.
Right.
But in terms of actual personality and his mindset, Goku knows better in that regard.
Right.
Yeah. In fact, you could take Frieza whole tunnel vision on revenge against Goku. Who maybe Goku understand that for when he went Super Saiyan against Frieza on Namek.
Yeah, Goku knows what buttons to push with Frieza.
Yeah.
And he's also smart enough to know that as powerful as Frieza is, he is also not one who like to be in situations where he knows he's not gonna get out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that he knows that even Frieza is willing to accept that if there's no other way out, he will conform to the actual solution that is needed.
Yeah. Especially evident when he was actually fighting alongside Goku against Jiren at the very end of the tournament and practically syncing his movement up with Goku perfectly.
Yes.
Also, I will say this. I have mixed feelings with Super, but that was like one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, whenever Super did something right, it was amazing.
Yes.
Like that very fight against Jiren at the end of the tournament. But with that said, let's get back to Buu Saga here.
Right.
Let's get back to Brain Dead Tape.
Sense. I'd argue the vast majority of problems occur because Goku isn't around. Or, if he wasn't, they would be a lot fucking worse off. I mean, really think about it. Goku was sent to Earth by the Saiyans, which means Raditz is going to show up because his brother was sent there. Okay, fair enough, but eventually the Saiyans or Frieza were going to arrive on Earth, and Goku not being there to defend Earth only makes things worse.
No.
What are you even
first
saying
off,
with this?
Like the Saiyans, when it comes to Vegeta and Nappa, they mainly came because they overheard through Raditz and Scouter about the Dragon Balls, and they were like, "Hey, get some of that action. Get ourselves some immortality.
Yeah, and that wasn't the fault of Goku. They didn't know what they were up against. Like, how could you? You don't know their technology.
Yeah,
You don't know
So it's Goku's fault that Raditz' scouter was still on. Yeah, sure.
They literally could have probably avoided that if Piccolo shut his mouth.
Wait. His argument is that Raditz is there, and without Goku around, that would be worse, or something.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, and then when it comes to Frieza specifically came to Earth for revenge against Goku. So yeah, Goku magnet for trouble.
I would simply say you can't make the argument in the first place, because the whole story revolves around Goku being sent to Earth. Everything else is a follow-up of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not this whole plot does not happen independent of Goku.
And quick reminder.
It happens because Goku was sent to Earth in the first place.
Exactly.
At least the Z plot. The original Dragon Ball plot, that happened around Goku.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Dragon... Exactly.
It still had things where Goku... Where things came later that were the response to Goku's actions beforehand. Like Cyborg Tao coming back. Heck, it was both a plot against getting rid of Tien and to get for Tao Pai Pai to get revenge against Goku for, horribly disfiguring him.
Yeah, even as far back as the original Dragon Ball, the consequences of Goku's actions was already a main element of the story.
Yeah, especially when it came to King Piccolo.
Yes, which arguably was the setup for one of the most important character changes in the entire series, which again was Piccolo Jr. Becoming a good guy.
All right. Yeah. We got 2 minutes left, and I don't know what else he's got left to talk about, but...
I do got one more point I need to get out there that's related. In the original timeline that Trunks came from, Goku did show up back to Earth and defeated Frieza.
No. I think it was Trunks.
No. In the original timeline that Trunks comes from.
Yeah. Goku came back. Goku got back to Earth in time and beat Frieza, and then died of the heart virus. Later.
Yeah. Yeah, they do make a point of establishing the sequence of events in that original timeline.
And even in that original timeline, the android running amok is still a result of Goku, who destroying the Red Ribbon Army years ago.
Yeah, which is what forced Dr. Gero to create the androids in the first place.
All right. Anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's go back.
Now, everyone, because look at that, Goku wasn't there. Namek with the shit, partly because Goku wasn't there from the start. Even the Red Ribbon Army was going to come back with Cell, regardless if Goku was around or not. I'd argue his presence certainly made things better. Even going as far back as the original Dragon Ball, I'd argue that it's probably better that Goku was around to fight the Red Ribbon Army than, him not being around to do that. Even while Goku is dead, things are still coming to kill everyone, like with Majin Buu. In all situations...
Yeah, the Majin Buu thing, again, is the poetic irony of Goku sacrificing himself. Whereas, the whole Magnet for Trouble thing, it gets flipped on its head with Majin Buu.
It's like the argument, if Spider-Man wasn't around, everyone would be safe. You do not fucking know that for a fact.
Kingpin existed long before Spider-Man came around.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying that as an example, there's a possibility that if Goku wasn't around, the world would be safe. But you don't know that. You don't know the outcome, what could happen. Things happen. Regardless if a particular someone is there or not, you do not know. I'm probably going off topic, but you just don't know.
Well, this is the equivalent of, we've seen in many Batman stories where people blame Batman for their ills, why they are villains. It's because there's this scary dude that goes around trying to beat them up, so they try to do their own versions of crime or something. So this is the same. He's saying, when he's alive, he's bad. When he's dead, he's bad. He's just trying to label Goku as just bad in any case. and then therefore he's a bad parent, which is kind of...
Yeah, but at least with Batman, some of those villains would have come about no matter what. Freeze, Ivy, Penguin, a whole bunch of them would have come about no matter what. Freeze specifically, because his thing wasn't because of Batman, it was because of his wife dying.
Yeah.
It was because of Nora, yeah.
Well, I'm probably going off of The Dark Knight, but yeah, like you said, like people blames Batman for all the crazy, and he does feel guilty about that, feeling like, you know, he is responsible. But over time, like I think the movie addressed that regardless if he wasn't there or not, the Joker would still be causing mayhem and chaos.
The same with Jason. It's like he blames himself for losing Jason as well, but nothing. There wouldn't have been any change whether he got there or not. Mm-hmm. The explosive still went off, killing Jason.
And Lex Luthor and Brainiac exist independent of Superman.
And Darkseid.
That anyway.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Not being around only makes everything worse. This is so incredibly counterproductive. I know the reason for this was to try to make a Gohan the main character, but it's done with such little tact that just looks like a bad choice. This results in Goten being 7 years old when he first meets his dad. But no, he's still a good parent, guys. The final thing I need to address with this image is where he comes back during the BoJack
let's hear this out.
Which I don't know if that's even canon, but it doesn't really make up for everything I've just brought up. To be clear, I don't think this makes Goku a bad person. Goku is actually a hell of a guy and does a lot of good. He's just not equipped to raise another living creature. I personally think that this flaw makes Goku a more three-dimensional character. He's not just a god who's good at everything. He's a man who prioritized fighting at the expense of other aspects of his life. This is extremely consistent with his characterization. Being a parent is complicated, and not everyone's good at it. Goku is an amazing...
And you would completely fail at raising Gohan.
Yeah.
You would completely waste his talent, and you would doom Earth.
Yeah. Also, literally look at every instant of the time they showed Goku and Gohan from the time before Raditz showed up. Gohan practically clinging to his dad, and Goku really loved hanging out with his son. And heck, you bring the video games into this. It's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Your first mission is going fishing with Gohan.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's not enough picnic episodes and enough playing baseball and catch episodes.
Then go write your own fucking fanfic. I don't give a shit.
I like how he defined what a good parent is at the start of the video so that we know where he's coming from. But if we compare it to the other parents in the show, in a show about fighting aliens and trying to save the world, I think that I go back to the original commenter I talked about in the start. If you guys want to read it, it's a long post from Goddess of Destruction, Diana, 1776. And here she actually lists the other parents. She's like, Goku is, in fact, the second best Saiyan father we see in the entire series. He's a better father than his own father, Bardock, a better father than King Vegeta, a better father than Paragus in both versions, and yes, a better father than Vegeta until the middle of the Buu saga, at least. So if we're comparing it to the relative other Saiyans who don't really have much of a natural acuity to parenting because they're born to fight, then Goku's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to have a father like Goku.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had a father like Goku.
The only Saiyan that beat Goku in being a good dad is his own son, Gohan.
Yes.
As someone who had 3 fathers that were very abusive to me, I would love to have Goku or even Vegeta. I'll say that right now. Vegeta, yeah, you may say, well, he's harsh. I'd rather have that than the emotional and physical abuse that I had.
Yeah.
Vegeta would still Vegeta would be a tough childhood, but he would still give a shit about. Yeah, but he would still give a shit about you and your talents.
Right.
Yeah, he still gives a shit about you. Look how much he was fidgeting and anxious over Bola's birth in Super.
Yeah, over his second child being born in the lead up to the Tournament of Power.
In fact, he was just really upset the fact that he didn't even get a say in naming Bull Bulma. He
Yeah, it's
wanted
like-
to give her a traditional Saiyan name.
Yeah, it's
And
like to
plus-
the
And he
point
got
that
ignored.
and to the point that once the child was born, that ultimately like cleared his conscience. It's like, yes, now I can go fight for our universe.
Also,
Yeah.
not only that, their Vegeta's daughter, when Trunks like, your mom wants you to hold him, he acts like he doesn't care, but he really fucking cares because he's like, that's not how the way you hold him.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to show it. That's literally exactly how Batman would treat that situation. They don't
Right.
show their emotion, but they still feel it.
Yeah.
And then when Bulma had a dirty diaper, Vegeta changed it like a professional, and he was so proud of it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
If
have-
anything, if you want to argue the worst Saiyan father, it would definitely be Paragon.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
Both versions of Paragon.
Yeah. That is an absolutely an abusive relationship because he's only used his own son for his power.
yeah, like, you don't have to show an emotion or cry. Like, that doesn't mean you don't care. It's just people show emotion in different ways. Vegeta, he did cry. Like, let's keep that in mind. But, you know, you don't have to do any of that to show, like, you care.
Especially with Vegeta, it is that his entire life relied on him not showing weakness. And that means showing such emotions.
Yeah, but that was the lesson for him that he will finally learn that showing emotion wasn't a weakness; it was a strength. That was his lesson. That was his life lesson.
No, it's and because he finally had a moment where that was okay, where that was appropriate.
Yeah.
Because all the time before, he was nothing but a tool for war, and a tool for war has no time for such emotions. Not those kinds.
He was raised to be as such.
Not just a tool for war, but a tool for war that ended up losing his entire planet, his family, his whole entire race. He had nothing.
But because of Goku, he got. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, Vegeta, you know, in the absence of his father, who, you know, was killed by Frieza, he was pretty much raised by the man who killed him.
And not only that,
Yeah.
if anyone here in the West that wants to say anime teaches unhealthy masculinity, anime teach you how to be a man in the most fucking healthy way possible. Like, I've watched anime that says it's okay to cry. Anyone that says it's not is fucking stupid. Even Naruto said this, like, it's okay to cry to, like, one kid during the bridge making. Because
look
there
how
were
much
choices.
crying there is in Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I've never watched Demon Slayer.
Or it's okay to use your anger as a tool for motivation and getting things done, just so long as you don't let it consume you.
There is a place for every emotion.
All right. Anyway, we got 30 seconds left, and we'll go straight to stream memes. I think he's done with his argument, as far as I can tell. So, anyway,
Please let it be a plug.
Fear of the earth, but he is a horrendous father.
Nope.
No.
You didn't prove anything.
You proved nothing, and
All right,
your
done.
argument
Fantastic.
is stupid, and you
We're
are
done.
brain dead.
Yeah.
stream memes.
You fucking brain dead, smooth brain baby.
This guy needs a family.
All right. I'm gonna do for Keyblade's sake. He's not in Smud server, so
Are you playing Xenoverse 2?
no. The stream memes.
Yeah. I'll post a few in here too.
What just
Well,
happened?
you're not in Smud server, so
All right. Don't worry. I got him.
You're
Starting
breaking
with-
the stream.
That's okay. That's okay. I got it.
Oh, did I? Shit.
No,
Damn.
you're fine. You're
I
fine.
thought Smud was already on the streaming.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Here we go. All right. This is
Okay.
from Legacy. Anime can have some pretty bad dads, but I'm going to say they absolutely got nothing on Brian Banner. All right. Look how she pawns over him. All of that time and attention used to be mine, and mine alone.
Yeah, Brian Banner was a very selfish man.
Yeah. Jesus.
Intelligent, but selfish.
Okay. Unrelated, but thank you.
It's like that's a jealous child that's jealous of the younger sibling.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you have a son
Wow.
and you're like, geez, he's getting all the attention that I used to have for my wife. It's like, that's your son, you moron. Anyway, unironically, this is how Goku and Dragon Ball characters in general respond to to Haxes? Hexes?
Hacks.
Hexes? And that's hilarious. Nice, complex hacks ability. You effing dipshit. Now check this out.
No,
Okay.
I don't get it.
Is he transforming and that's his...
When he goes Super
I think
Saiyan 3.
that's supposed to imply you got a superpower, I got a superpower. I think that's what that's supposed to be.
All right, whatever.
Y'all get a superpower.
Sigh, I didn't want to make this video when I beat them with a tire iron.
What?
I don't know. Dad, I'm fighting next. All right, good luck. And please don't give my opponent a senzu bean again. No promises. Go on. Oh, the senzu bean. I would like to give this trophy to the best father ever. Oh. I was afraid to Mr. Piccolo.
I like how Vegeta is just laughing over there.
That's in character.
Well, look, Dad, I did it. I'm proud of you, son. That's my son. Goku, stay out of this. I'm talking to my dad.
You see, like with things like this, it's funny to say that.
Yeah, because it's a
Piccolo's about
parody.
it, because
Yeah.
because that's the joke.
Yeah. Amazing, Dad. Yep, they grew up good and strong. I wanted to feed you guys some good food, so I worked real hard.
Aw.
Gee, it's like he likes gardening for some reason.
He picked up on farming, and he's a damn good farmer.
This is just
The drip, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just Islamic Goku.
It looks
long-
like it.
Oh my
That
god!
doesn't,
No.
it doesn't work. Goku is haram. He has magic powers. That's
Just
haram.
like if Dragon Ball works off of Zen Buddhism and Taoism for its philosophical ideas.
Listen,
Ultimately.
fam, we don't care. What?
Goku.
So,
when
yes, you do.
Mordecai and Rigby ask Skips for help, and he says, "Yeah, I've seen this before." Goku versus Mordecai and Rigby.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. Anyway,
that's too deep.
Yeah. Oh, he's fighting a bunch of SpongeBobs. Why?
It's SpongeBob Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Oh.
yeah.
30B SpongeBobs. What?
30 billion SpongeBob
Oh,
versus
billion.
Goku.
Oh, it's like trying to like compare a joke, a comedic character with a action character. Yeah, that's stupidity.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a three-way diagram for
An N-word diagram.
I don't get it. Wouldn't say the N-word. Might say it without the R, or while singing along to a song. Says it
What?
with a hard R and is racist. What the-
Yes, Frieza is absolutely racist against the Saiyans.
This is the weirdest.
That's been a thing since his debut. Honestly,
yeah, but this
that's
is the
nothing new.
strangest. Like,
Well, yeah, the whole
Why
thing.
would you
well,
make
yeah,
it
the whole
sharp
thing.
like this?
who
Well,
would,
yeah, the whole thing is stupid. So
yeah, who would
Where are the
actually
people who say it with a hard R but are not racist and by making fun of racists? Where's that?
Anyway, this is weird.
Goku offers you the blunt. Do you accept?
I feel not represented.
Anyway,
They beating y'all ass?
I mean, they did. It's like this was just as Goku arrived to the fight with Frieza.
still using
Yeah.
Arial font for your aesthetic anime VHS drawing subtitles. Old chum.
While using it for this meme.
All right.
Oh, that's too small.
It definitely needs to be
We
yellow.
did it.
We did it. Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
we did it. Cell blew himself up. Cell.
Boo. I'm a bit
yeah.
concerned about this recent stock market fiasco. What? Do not be alarmed. Janemba.
Janemba.
I've handled our investments accordingly. Splendid. What?
Okay.
How? Why? Vegeta guest starring in regular show. Is this... What is that?
AI.
It's AI, and I want to say something about the AI. Anyone that's worried about that taking over, like fucking, like artists, look very hardly. The AI cannot do anything justice, so you got nothing to worry about.
Interesting. All right. Ko-Fi I would like to request Vegeta eating an order of blazing hot wings of Buffalo Wild Wings because he heard that Kakarot can easily eat them, but he's clearly having trouble eating them, but he won't stop because of his Saiyan pride and has his really intensely angry face.
That would be a funny episode to watch.
Okay.
Watch y'all tone.
All right. What do we got here?
Oh.
Small and Spanish. The fuck?
No.
I can't.
Yeah, moving on.
That's
Moving on.
anti-Semitic. That's why I said it. What?
That's it. Thank you, Dragon Ball Z Broly.
All right.
I'm keeping that.
Jesus, what am I looking at?
Can you do funny and not disgusting?
Yeah. Okay, this is funny. This is good.
Yeah, well, discussing can be always funny, but
Yeah, but some things are just disgusting.
yeah, true.
Billy, look what happened to your poor father. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right. I'm about to get racist. That's it. I'm racist. Okay. Oh boy. And Gigaman, the general response of Dragon Ball fans that know better. Oh, okay. And the last ones. But, Gohan, I intend to have you even surpass me. I'm positive it will happen. Let's go together, even further ahead. And there he goes.
Goku's proven right both times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vegeta was wild, bruh. Beat up his own son just so Cell could reach his perfect form. One of the greatest lies ever spread about Dragon Ball was that Vegeta was a good dad.
Yeah, now, who's the better dad in between these two images?
Fucking Goku.
Yeah.
And-
It's not to say that Vegeta didn't become a good dad later on, but
yeah, over time he did, but in the beginning he was just full of arrogance and pride.
Well, this is
because that's always he was raised with.
looking at his son from the future. He didn't know it was his son at that time, so I don't know if that's fair.
I think they all knew at that point. At least Goku and Vegeta knew.
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
They knew.
Vegeta figured it out during the chase to get Dr. Gero.
Yeah, early on in the saga, Vegeta put it together.
Yeah.
So he knew well in advance that this guy is his son from the future, and still did that.
Yeah, here's a good one. There for most of his son's life, spent an entire year bonding with him in the Rosat, supports his son's dreams, dies to save him twice, and the fandom labels him a terrible, uncaring father.
Rosat means Room of Spirit and Time, which is the original name of the hyperbolic time chamber. But the point stands.
All right.
Yeah.
Trains Gohan once, considered his father. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Trains with Gohan twice, sits and waits for a ceremony to become Mystic Gohan, which is Gohan with his full power unlocked in the Buu Saga. Sacrifices his life against Cell for his son's mistake. In fact, sacrifices his life multiple times to protect the planet. Stop Frieza from killing him on Namek. Ignores the rules of the afterlife to punch Bojack in the face to save his son, which is the movie. What movie is that? 8 or 9?
BoJack Unbound.
No, but the number.
Good question.
That was the BoJack movie. Gohan put his job and family in front of competing in a Zeno tournament. Yeah, he straight up told Gohan, it's like so you can focus on family, but Gohan was the one that said, no, I want to do this so we can save everyone.
Also, Giga movie 9. BoJack Unbound.
BoJack Unbound was movie 9, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is an actual strip from the comic. Okay.
From the manga.
Yeah.
Or from whatever.
This next one is from the Viz manga.
Okay. I was confused as of that. Okay.
Also, Raccoon called Goku a midget.
Yeah, sure.
So this is the manga that's colored manga where he's saving Gohan's life with the Sensu Bean.
The general point is that to reiterate the whole part of Goku going to his friends first when he arrived on Namek, he goes to check on his friends and allies first, and then proceeds to one-shot Raccoon.
Especially Gohan.
Yeah, most especially Gohan. Hence this page from the manga.
Yeah.
Thank you,
The
Cowboy Bebop, for the
25-year-old guy, a dude. Okay.
Oh my God.
when the peeps say Goku's a bad dad, get bent.
Anyway.
Yeah. Get fucked.
All right. Well, that was interesting meme time for us.
Oh yeah, it was great. Better than this video.
Yeah, a little bit of levity in all this topic. Anyway, thanks guys. That was pretty decent. I like these kind of topics because it's so specific. And thankfully, the guy stayed on topic. He didn't start rambling on. He didn't bring up other shows. He didn't talk about his own life too much. So that was.
He does have that over the other people we cover.
Yes.
Yeah, I could at least give him that the fact he stayed on topic of what he wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think if you guys were in the room when he was scripting this out, or at least talking to himself, you'd be like, "Whoa, slow down there, buddy. Let's just say that one more time." Okay, let's talk about that. I think you guys would.
I would say he's more sane to talk to, but we still have like rebuttal arguments to debunk what he's saying.
Yeah.
So.
Like, this is the kind of guy I would happily bring on, and we could talk about Dragon Ball, because everyone loves Dragon Ball. We could talk about it freely.
Yeah.
And we could bring up like the 4 major points that we disagreed with, or the evidence he brought up that he interpreted differently, and say, this is what actually happens in the scene. This is what happens in the manga. Maybe that's not coming through in the dub very well. And I'm sure it's different in the sub as well. So it's not like this impossible thing to bridge between the two bases of knowledge that we possess, that he could grasp, and we could see where he's coming from a bit better. As I'm sure he has some basic fundamental reason why he thinks this, and those points weren't very solid. So maybe it's an accumulation of those points. He just sees it as a gestalt. Maybe it's one that really stuck with him and he tried to justify it by looking to other points. I don't know. So it's one of those things where he's definitely a fan, but he's not remembering all the data that we might possess. So
at best, he's misinformed.
At best he's misinformed.
Right.
And just need to watch it again.
I know. I just don't like saying, "Well, you haven't watched the show. You have to watch it again." I don't really like that sort of response.
I literally got the same argument the other night from a friend saying, like, you need to go watch Dragon Ball again because you're wrong about Goku being a good father. It's like,
well, in the case of Dragon Ball, that is the best way to clear up this kind of like skewed opinion. It's like, just watch it again. That's it.
Yeah, it is. But I just hate that people are. I don't know about insulting my intelligence. No, not insulting my intelligence. I would say insulting my knowledge of the show.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate your time. Thank you for jumping on and filling in the blanks where definitely my knowledge is not as present as yours, because I don't know this stuff. It's been 20 years, guys. It's been a while since I watched this show. So
I immerse myself in Dragon Ball all the time, so I'm readily available on this.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Ginga, for recommending your friend to pop in. I appreciate it. And, of course, Cyrek for jumping in. And everyone else for just tuning in and watching this. This was fun. I like anime. I like manga. And that was not too bad. That was a short video. And you know what? There was no politics. There's no modern...
Thankfully, yeah.
Awesome. Bonus points. Bonus points.
Give that man a trophy for no politics.
Exactly.
Actually, go subscribe to the guy, for no politics.
No.
No.
Wait a second.
Let's not go that far, Fox guy.
He's not good enough. Like, don't just do the switch from one extreme to the other.
Anyway.
Okay. Just go kill him.
Anyway.
What did I just say?
Anyway, thank you guys.
No. Anyway, yeah.
Have yourself a good evening. Thank you for tuning in. We'll talk to you real soon. Keep the voting going. The session's coming, and good night.
Good night.
Goku's a good father.
Goku is